I will take you through some of the back-end features of SAM that allow us to check on how our students are doing and initiate automatic communication and just keep a handle on our timings and potential length of course. So here's an example of our organizational behavior micro-credential in the new manager training. When we go to content, we click on that to open up the, I guess, landing page or starting page that hosts all the content. And as an editor, I'm an editor, I can do some special things in the back end to check on my students. So anyone who is an editor of the course can do that. So typically that's myself, it's Adam, and of course it's the instructor. So up here you see content is where you look through all of your materials. Calendar, grades is something that may be of interest to you, as well as user progress. So let me start there. When I click on user progress, I get a list of all the students in the course. I have tried to scrub their names so I don't breach any privacy policies or regulations. So when we look at this, it shows how much content is completed. In this course, we have 36 things that we have required them to complete. And this participant has completed 78%, 28 of those 36. It does show the date of all of the participants' logins, as well as the grades. We can continue down. We see someone here is at 58% complete, and even some people are at 0 who have possibly not started yet. And of course, sometimes we would like to go a little bit deeper. So as the editor, I am allowed to go to Content, and I can click on my table of contents, and that shows all of the modules. And I have some special related tools here. There is something called View Reports, and this will bring me to a page of statistics. So it tells me a little bit about the content and the number of users. So it does tell me the average time spent on all of the content is 2 hours 55 minutes, and that's all of the content in SAM. And then it breaks it down by each module and each component within. So it shows that it's available to 16 users and that 12 of them have visited. And on average, the time spent is 5 minutes 59 seconds on this descriptive area. Then we look a little bit deeper into some of these other activities. Now you'll see this is a PowerPoint presentation called Organizational Behavior, and people typically have spent 28 minutes on that. That's the average. We have some things that are like 18 seconds, and this is a link to probably a web page article, and so you notice 18 seconds probably isn't enough time to read the article. No, but it is enough time to click on it, and it takes it to where it lives on the web. So the thing to be aware of is that this page or these statistics will represent that someone has clicked on something, but it doesn't necessarily tell us how much time they actually stayed on each item. Some of them, yes, like the presentations, yes, but anything that takes them outside of SAM, we really can't control how long or see how long they have been interacting with the content. Another thing to notice is that in some of our in our options, you can watch a PowerPoint presentation or a video right within SAM. Another option is you can download. And if you download it, it just is, a 10 or 15-second click, and your item is downloaded, and then you can leave SAM. So that would only track that someone spent 15 seconds on a piece of content, when in actual time they may have downloaded the content and visited it multiple times outside of SAM. So we just have to bear in mind that SAM tells us when someone has clicked on something, not always how long they interact, because people choose to interact differently. So this is a really neat way to check on the statistics, and it can be exported into an Excel document. We'll just open it and see how that looks. Yeah, same thing, just in an Excel document where you can use that information in other ways, maybe to make some charts or to do some other data collection. So we've figured out average time, but what if you want to figure out specific time? How long is it taking each user to complete a topic? Let's take a look at this organizational behavior slideshow, and I will click on the number of participants that have visited. So if I click on that number 12, it will bring up a list of all of my 12 students who participated, the day they visited last, the number of visits on this particular piece of content, as well as the time spent. So as you can see, there is a wide variety. I would say these first few participants probably downloaded the document. I'd say this participant probably watched the document in SAM. And this participant actually came 7 times and spent 2.5 hours engaging with this content. So this is an interesting way to look a little bit deeper to see how people are using your content, whether it's a quick download or whether they spend multiple hours on multiple visits. It's also interesting to see how many people do it in one visit, and really no one has. We have some people who've done it in 2 visits, spent an hour during 2 visits. So those are some interesting statistics as well. And lastly, if you're just interested in how one particular user or student has been interacting, you can also look at their particular information. So if I go back to this statistics page, we have the content, shows everyone, and then we have users. When you click on users, you can choose one person in particular and click on their activity, their name, and it will pull up their activity, how much time they spent on the items and how many visits. So if you're interested in one person, that's what you can do. Another thing we monitor in SAM are the grades, and that is in the grades section. There is a list of all of the different assignments that are graded, and in Enter Grades is where instructors can go in and keep an eye on the grades and what is happening. So we have our students and all of their grades for all of the assignments throughout the course. It shows if people have not completed or have completed under a passing mark in red or pink. In yellow, maybe caution, it shows who are in the medium range of grades, and then in the green it is the high range of grades. So I'm not sure exactly what the breakdown is, but it looks like medium is within at least up to 75, probably even up to 80, and I'd say the green maybe 80 to 100%. So that's another way instructors can monitor student work, by keeping an eye on the grades in the grade book. And like our statistics, these grades can be exported to a spreadsheet, so you have all your data at hand if you wanted to make charts, import them into reports, or whatever it is you need to use the data for. So those are some interesting ways that we can help monitor student progress, gather statistics, and get some helpful insights into timelines and the way students interact with the content. So hopefully these little bits and functionality pieces of SAM will be helpful as we continue to work on, review, develop, and improve our courses.